They just texted me from.
Hi, Steph. She's all gone. Oh, shoot.
Oh no.
Hi, I know. She's in
There
the
she is.
hospital. Yeah. Mel, go ahead.
Yeah, I may just have to listen as I come back in. Anyway, yes, that was a bit of a inconvenience. But so I'm here now. She's doing good. Her, anytime something like this happens to someone who already has dementia, it really throws them for a loop. So yeah, I don't know how long it'll take that to get back, but she's very disoriented.
Mm-hmm. Okay. And so what's going on with you? How are you? What happens to you in situations like this?
Yeah, I'm back.
Shoot.
And Stacy's frozen, so I'm just not sure. Maybe I can listen. Should I turn my camera off, maybe?
It is off. I mean, we're only seeing your name. So I think it already did that by itself.
I'm seeing.
Shoot.
Oh, okay. I'm seeing myself and I'm seeing you.
Oh,
so, okay.
Yeah, turn your camera off.
I don't know. Do I know how to do that? Camera. Stop video. That's not what I want to do.
Yeah. Stop videos. Correct.
Stop video?
Uh-huh. Yeah.
Okay.
And maybe it won't have to work so hard. Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
That's what I'll do then.
So what happened to you? Oh.
Oh, jeez. Are you there?
Yeah.
No. It's funny, I asked, are you there? And then 15 seconds later, your face moved and you said, yeah. I'm not sure if we're connecting or not.
Shoot. We can hear you.
Oh, anyway. Okay. Well, we're doing fine. I'm just, spending a lot of time here. So I did not concentrate a whole lot this past week. Okay, I'm back. So I didn't get a lot done last week, except that I realize now I need to be working on my Facebook diligently, and I need to get a website up, just a quick website, with just information on it, my offer, all that. So that's where I need to go now. I know that.
Okay.
So no, I didn't get much concentration in this past week.
Okay. Okay. Well, then let's go ahead and move on to Steph.
Okay.
Okay, so I called Rodney, the guy that's supposed to be a mentor, and I left a message, but I haven't heard back from him yet. So I'm just kind of waiting to hear back from him to see what he's going to say.
Was this the guy that you called early before? Like, is this the second call or the first one?
First time I texted him and he asked me to call him. So I called him and left him a message, and he hasn't returned my phone call yet.
Okay.
So the only thing I can think of is his wife is completely bedridden, and I know she wasn't doing well when I moved. So for him to not return my phone call makes me think maybe something's going on with his wife. Like literally he said that she hadn't been downstairs for 6 months.
Oh, wow.
When I moved. So, and that was almost 2 years ago. So I'm wondering if something's up with that. So I'll go ahead and call him again, because I called him, I think it was Tuesday last week. So I'll call him again today and see if I can get a hold of him. Other than that, I've spent time with my son and my daughter. We went to SeaWorld on Sunday, which was really super fun.
Oh, that's awesome.
And it was really cute because we were like trying to get to shows, because they only last like 15 minutes or whatever. and we'd see a show's going to start in like 2 minutes. And so Nico and I would start running across SeaWorld. And I'm like laughing, and he's like, what? And I'm like, I feel like a little kid running from ride to ride. Like, we got to get to this ride.
Right.
I'm like the only mom, like running through SeaWorld trying to get to like shows and stuff.
That's awesome.
Yeah, but we had a really good time. And then Nico told me about a website about where I can get glasses, which I never heard about. Warby Parker. Have you ever heard that before?
No.
So Warby Parker, they have stores, but they also have, you can go online and go on warbyparker.com, and they'll ship you 5 pairs of eyeglasses for free.
Oh my
and
gosh.
you try them on, and whichever ones you want to keep, you just keep them and ship the rest of them back. And then you can ship it back, and then they'll fill a prescription for you as well. So it's it's only $95 for the glasses, and then they charge $200 to fill the prescription. So that saves a lot of money.
Yeah.
So anyways, I was asking my son, I said, is that the website you were talking about? Because I was at the hospital yesterday. And he's like, yeah, that's the one. I said, there's a store 6 miles from the hospital. He's like, just go. So I went over there and I tried on glasses, and then he sent me he sent me a text message. He goes, take a picture of the glasses that you want, and I'll just buy them for you for your birthday. And I'm like, no, you already remember the big extravagant thing you did for my birthday? You like gave me $100 gift card and took me to the Pacific whatever, downtown Huntington. And I'm like, no, you already did enough for my birthday. And he goes, well, I didn't get you anything last year for your birthday, so I'll just buy your glasses. Or just Thanksgiving, whatever, I'm buying your glasses. And I'm like, okay.
Do I have to have an excuse to buy you a gift? No.
I know. Well, yeah, I know. I'm really bad at receiving gifts from my son because I just feel like, he's a kid, and I want him to be able to not struggle, and, but it's funny though, because when he asked me to pick him up because he had to find a charging station for his car, and I picked him up, and he just bought a BMW. So it's like, okay.
He's doing okay.
He's got a new hybrid BMW now. So
they have a hybrid. Is it a new one? He bought a brand new one?
He bought it used.
Okay.
It was so bizarre, like looking inside, like the technology today is so crazy.
Mm-hmm.
He's like, yeah, there's a 2-gallon tank. It only holds 2 gallons of gas. And he goes, but it doesn't run the engine. It starts a generator that charges the battery to the car. And I'm like, this is crazy. He's like, this is the furthest I've driven it. He goes, it was kind of a test. He goes, but you got to find charging stations. And so they only had 4 charging stations at SeaWorld. So I had to go pick him up someplace else, like kind of downtown, like by SeaWorld. But yeah, so I guess he's doing good on money. But like I said, I'm like, here comes the money. And so I've been thinking, like, what am I going to do about these taxes? I have 3 weeks to come up with this $5,000. Where is it going to come from? And so then I started thinking about it, and I'm like, my boat. I haven't used my boat in 5 years. And I thought, my uncle said if I ever sold it, he wanted to buy it. So I sent him a message and said, I think I'm ready to let go of the boat. And he's like, well, how much do you want for it? And I said, I'm looking for $5,000, but I don't know how much it's worth. And he's like, send me pictures and I'll see what I can do to help you out. But it's kind of hard because Christmas is coming. But just take pictures of the boat and let me know what's going on. And I said, okay. So now I have to make a trip up to Central California to go pick up the boat. But
to pick it
makes
up?
me feel better knowing that the boat will stay in the family, because it's kind of
Totally, that's so
heart-wrenching to let it go because my dad built it, It's like the last piece of his legacy.
I feel this. I wrote about my boat story in the Egypt to Canaan book. I can feel you're ready to cry right now. It's a big deal. I totally get it. But how beautiful that you get to keep it in the family. That's really cool.
That's a huge thing, because I really wanted to give it to Nico, but Nico doesn't have any place to store it, and he just doesn't have the time because he's working with his race car. He doesn't have the time for a boat.
Yeah.
And so I'm like, okay, well, but yeah.
So why do you have to go get it? Can you just have your uncle go get it up there? Why do you?
Probably needs a little work before I send him pictures for it, because it's been sitting for 5 years.
What if you, this is kind of a rule for upgrading in any area of our life. You're kind of doing something that you haven't done before. And the best way to do this is to be super duper dishonest unless you prefer, like if you want to go through all that work of going up there and getting it ready and taking pictures, you could, but you might want to try just calling your uncle and being flat out honest. I haven't seen the boat for 5 years. I don't know what kind of shape it's in. You know, what would you consider going to, you know, get the boat or see the boat, or you checking it out instead of me, or do you want me, you know, just being totally honest about the situation. You might find that that will be a better route, less stress. People love honesty. They just love it when you're just right out there with, you know, everything. So that's just an option for you. You might want to consider.
Yeah, I know there's issues that I have to fix from the last time I took it out on the lake. I chipped the prop, so the prop needs to be changed. The carburetor obviously needs to be rebuilt because I had to do that every time I took it out every year. And then I don't know what the wiring looks like inside the electrical. I don't have a clue. You know, so I mean, I don't know. I don't mind going up there because I get to see my friend. She's my best friend. I get to spend a couple of days with her.
Okay.
But having him go get it, that's a 4-hour drive.
And how long is it for you?
4-hour drive.
And why? I mean, what's going on there?
I don't know. He doesn't know my best friend, and he would have to go there. I don't know if he'd go up there and pick it up and turn around and come back. He's older.
I mean, is there any value in this for him? Or is he just doing you a favor?
When my dad died, he wanted the boat, and my dad was going to give him the boat, and I kind of fought him on it and said, I want the boat. And so I ended up with the boat. We had 2 boats at the time. My dad had a little Boston Whaler fishing boat that he had purchased for fishing, because you can't fish off of our ski boat because the RPMs run too fast to troll. But it was like the last thing that my dad had that he built with his own hands. It's like the last of the boats, of the regatta boat. And so I really wanted it. So I think he does want it because he's got his daughter and grandkids, I believe now, that he probably would like to share it with. And he's close to 70. So that's why I'm kind of like, do I want to make him go all the way up there and do that? So like I said, I don't have a problem with going up there and getting it, but I think I would rather put eyes on it before, you know.
Okay. Okay.
That's how I feel.
Okay. Good. We had a Lexus. Remember my old white Lexus was sitting here, and it was time to sell it. And then all of a sudden it stopped running. And so Hugo said, oh my gosh, I can't sell it if it's not running. I need to get it fixed. That's that. Well, there was a guy in Hemet that already told us, like, Hugo got it smogged by this guy last year. He goes, if you ever want to sell this thing, call me. Well, I said, call the guy. He said he wanted to buy it. He goes, no, I got to get it fixed first. I'm like, no, call the guy. So Hugo went over and saw the guy face to face, says, it doesn't run. I don't even know. But if you want to give me $2,000 for it and you get it towed, take it, you know, I'll drop the price. And so the guy came and got it. They got it sent to tow truck, got it. And we got the $2,000 for the car. It's just like, it was just surprising to Hugo that people would, but like I had to help him see that there was great value in this for that guy. That the guy's going to do all kinds of work on it. You know, it's a valuable thing. And sometimes we forget because it feels so weighty to us. We're like, oh, I'm so grateful, you know, but it's also valuable to the other people. And so sometimes we just have to remember that to at least, I don't know, need help.
Right. So yeah, I'll have to pray about it. I see what you're saying because, you know, in all honesty, my Uncle Mike was side by side with my dad building that boat together. So he knows everything there is to know about the engine and everything there is to know about the whole boat. There's no secrets.
Totally.
So, yeah, I just don't know. I mean, maybe I'll just go pick it up, hook it up, and just tow it straight to his house and just go, this is it. You know, here it is.
And also tell him how much it means to you that he has it. Because it obviously, it's like it's a huge deal, you know?
Yeah, he already knows. He already knows. He knows a lot. Because he knows.
Yeah.
He knows.
Awesome. Okay. All right. So Mel, you guys is in the hospital, so she's just kind of listening. Mel, can you hear us? Doesn't matter. I see her name. Okay, Karen. Are we going in and out? You're going in and out too. Shoot.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Hey, Michelle and Karen, you're up next. Come on in.
Okay.
Oh, shoot.
Can you hear
be
me?
driving.
Yeah, shoot.
Can you guys hear me?
Yes. Go ahead. Are you parked under a tree?
Can you hear me?
Yes.
You can now? Okay, I missed part of that. So what is your question for me? No, I'm parked at the top of my, yeah. I had to go in the car. There was no space in the house or the office, so I'm in my car.
Okay. So give us an update.
You kind of got cut off. What was that?
Give us an update. Status. How was your week? What's going on?
The week is going good. Just a little bit crazy as normal, but going good. I just need a minute to settle in.
All right. Michelle, you want to
to
update?
ask somebody else to give me a minute?
Sure.
Yeah.
Michelle, you want to give
Yes, I'm here. Can you see me?
Yeah, perfectly. Oh, feels good. Your reception's wonderful. We can see you clearly.
Okay. I was just looking back on my notes. I'm like, did I miss lesson 29? And lesson 29 basically is this is hot seat coaching day.
Yeah.
What's plugging you and calling you?
Yeah.
Well, what's calling me? Just learning. I just want to continue to grow and continue to perform at a high level. Sometimes I feel like I'm playing way too small and I'm not performing at a high level still. And I know things are going to start to pick up in a couple of weeks. Right now they're creating this new platform and this new digital wallet and getting things finalized with this union credit and so forth. And we're getting updates and calls. And also I need to update a whole bunch of I'm talking hundreds of accounts of other people. And people have different schedules and
You have to go through every one of those. Wow.
yeah, there's so many and it's so time consuming that I dread, and I don't even want to do my accounts because I'm doing the other people's accounts, and I'm like, okay, you got to send the money to this person because they're doing the ID and they're doing the KYC and they're, and I just feel like, oh God, it's so time consuming. And sometimes I just procrastinate on it. So I've no more, my motivation has went down here to those accounts, So I know I got to get that done because right now there's an open space before I start to get, start performing on other areas.
Mm-hmm.
So that's my, but I guess we all feel this way sometimes. But and meanwhile,
I want to just stop right here for a moment. This is so huge. When you're up leveling in your life, when you're moving to that next level of increase, no matter what kind of increase we're talking about, it could be an increase in just intimacy or connection with, your partner or whatever, or it could be a money thing, like you're going to receive a whole bunch of money, or you're receiving a whole bunch of clients or different level client. Your nervous system literally needs to be prepared for the increase. And so this is where we see the integration of our body. Another coach friend of mine got a new client. It was a $50,000 client, and they mapped out a plan for this client to get to $2.5 million within 6 months. And this is work that my friend hadn't done before. And she did great during the session. They mapped it all in. She got home, walked in her door, and literally fell on her back and passed out. And what we believe is that was such a radical increase of energy in her system that her nervous system didn't know how to handle it. So we will see that happen. People will get dizzy, they'll pass out, or they'll want to just lay down for 2 months and not do anything. And they'll describe this as overwhelm. And even if it's only one new client with a lot of money or a lot of power, they'll still call it overwhelm. So it's not the busyness that causes that. It's this new and powerful energy that's coming into your system that you're not equipped or ready for. So it's just, to me, it's so mind-boggling how integrated we really, really are. And so when you're ready to go to a new level of performance or money or connection in your life, you have to prepare your body to be able to handle that. And we do that usually in incremental little steps. We handle more and more increase one step at a time. Some people can go to quantum levels if they get really, really serious about annihilating the fear from their system. So that fear power map that I use, that's why we call that tool the one tool that makes all the other tools obsolete. All the other tools will take you incrementally from one level to the next, and they'll change your behavior little by little. But that fear power map has the power to eliminate fear from your system. So if you get really, really honest and really, really serious about what's going on with you, and you literally do the work of alchemizing that fear into power by using those pillars and those truth rants, you can prepare your physical body to be able to hold the increase that's coming. So that's what that reminds me of, Michelle, when she was talking about that. I'm like, oh my God, this is exactly what we're talking about. All of a sudden you have 100 people, you know, that you have, that's a lot of increase. That's a lot of work. That's a lot of everything, a lot of energy into your system. So anyways, it's no surprise that you would be procrastinating, not wanting to.
Well, it's these accounts are accounts that people can never buy ever again. So people that actually got these accounts, it's like a big deal. I mean, there's people out there that I ain't even got an offer. Can I buy some of your accounts? And I'm like, no, I'm not selling. You know, I told them about it. It's their lost. You know, and so anyhow, all these accounts. As a matter of fact, like Stephanie has an account too. I have to get with her and change her password. I'll show her how, and do an ID. But that takes time. Yeah. Just to do one takes 10 minutes. Can you imagine doing hundreds and hundreds? Yeah. But for the new stuff that's coming in, I'm really excited for that. Mm-hmm. I'm ready to drive and fly wherever I go, get in front of people. I'm ready to challenge myself. That I'm excited for, like really excited for it. I can't wait for that because this is crazy new stuff, you know.
Okay, so the new stuff gets you excited because there's no weight in that. All you have to do for that is believe that you can, and you will, and you're fine in that.
Well, I know that I have to know the odds and ends, and there's so much detailed into it. And I'm not an IT tech person. I don't know the gaming system. I don't know things about trading and doing digital stuff. That's not who I am, but it didn't stop me of learning and getting certified from a Bitcoin expert. Right. You know, that's the basic to me. Yeah. But the other stuff, it's just crazy stuff. Like, okay, I guess I have to learn some of this stuff, you know?
Yeah. But that part doesn't scare you.
No, it really doesn't. It gets me excited because I'm in with the new in, you know, oh, this is exciting. This is something totally different, something crazy that other people are not even doing.
Yeah.
You know.
So let's go back to the 100 people, like getting all these 100 people updated or whatever. What would you say is the biggest, like, the thing that is?
I think it's more getting them locked in to commit. You know, what's the best time for you? I need to update your accounts. It takes time for me to explain why do we need to do this. The explaining and then the aggravation from them. I get like when you explain.
So this isn't just updating people. This is literally kind of like another sales call almost.
And it's not a sales call at all.
But I mean, you're teaching them like they might choose not to stay.
They have to update their passwords no matter what. Oh. If they want money out, they have to do an ID no matter what. That's the new rule.
And you have to explain this to them?
And I have to explain to them why. And that's the dreading part. When I hear them say, why? Well, some are going to be, okay, sure, do what I need. Like the highest professional people, no problem.
Question. Oh, yeah.
They just do it. Okay, I get it. I understand. And some people like, you know, it's like, I need to change somebody else's ID to yours. They don't have your control of your account. You just have to change the ID. It's KYC because company doesn't do business in the US. So this person's willing to do it. So you owe them $20 and that's cheap for an account like that. Way below cheap. So you pay one time. So I have to explain a lot of explaining why, and this is why, and I have to show them and prove why, and we do certain things, and companies protecting themselves. And I can't say too much on video,
Okay.
you know.
Okay.
But that's the dreading part.
That's the dreading part, that they're going to say
from
why.
them.
Okay.
So
okay.
then I have to re-explain and re-explain. And I know part of growing and being the best and being the new, when I was a manager for the retail stores, I coaching and developing, consistent, repetition is a big key factor. And I know that I need to go back in there. But when I hear adults complain and say why, that's the dreading part.
Okay.
It's like, you're an adult, like, you know.
Okay.
Okay. And I know everybody works a little differently, and so therefore I have to some of the people is like, sure, it's
Yeah.
like I love working with those people, you know. And I had somebody from that came down to LA. He was only here for a week. He wanted to meet me, and he's a really good, high profile man. He's actually promoting his son, and his son had over 20 producers looking after him. And he called me and said, hey, Michelle, I can't meet with you. The promoter is calling my son. I'm like, okay, no problem, Snuggie. I will touch base with you. And he's like very thorough, very sharp. Nothing's a problem with him.
Mm-hmm.
If I say this is going to cost for this many accounts, okay, no problem, you know. So I have people like that. But then I have other people, it's this, the faith in them. And I understand why, because of what their faith is, you know.
Exactly. Okay. So think about where is their the reason why they would ask why is because they are in fear, which is in the saboteur energy. That's saboteur energy. When people are asking a million questions and they want to know why and they want to know how and they want to know, that's saboteur. So you're going to be speaking to the saboteur. This is the energy that bothers you or that is annoying to you. So in order to speak to a saboteur, you're going to have to use the energy of the magician, the miracle worker. That is pure faith. So that is what you're dealing with, is a lack of faith, a lack of trust, a lack of confidence. That's the person that is annoying. And so you're going to be speaking from this energy of absolutely knowing what their concern is and overcoming their fear in your statement. So when you get on the phone with them, you're going to be speaking from a place of absolute protecting them and their investment. And so you're going to be answering their why and their what and their how before they even have a chance to say why. So that would be your work in order to overcome the dread, is to write out a little script of how you can overcome their fear and not even give them a chance to say why. Does that make sense?
Right. And I always start off with that. Just yesterday, I was, on Saturday, I wanted to go to the gym early. I was actually driving there. I get a phone call from one of my business leaders. He says, Michelle, I got this text message from this person. He was very disturbed about it. And I'm like, oh my God, somebody's in her ear. All right, I think I need to call this person. He goes, yes, you need to contact Larry. Okay, fine, I'll contact him right now. And he answered the phone, and basically we tell them, we're here to help you, and this is what's going on in the organization with your other business partners. And he goes, you know what, I told her that not to do that because she's going to mess it up. And like, okay. So we had to explain, and he got it. He got to understand.
Okay.
So there's a lot of cleanup that we have to do too.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
and then it's like, okay, now I have to contact this person. And what if this person's, you know,
Yeah. Yeah.
because I send out these massive email, and I also send the text message. It's just like when we change the time here, you guys say it on Facebook, but I say it on the chat. I privately message them. If I don't get a response, I'm going to message them again, you know? And then, did you read my message? You're telling me to fill out the KYC, but I send you a message 2 times, you know? And it gives you specific instructions what they need to be doing. And so when I hear the drailing, it's like, these people don't read.
Yeah, well, this is a huge deal, and I don't do that. I speak clearly one time, and that's it. If people don't value their investment, I'm not going to chase after them. So that's a codependent behavior that totally disempowers people, and it gives them an excuse to blame you for things. So
right. Yeah, so I'm here to help them. And I said, and
And
I
you
save
don't
all the messages.
Don't go chasing after them, and don't send them a million messages, and there is no reason for that at all. That's crazy. And that's kind of a setup for them to blame you, because now you're doing things that they should be doing for themselves. You're tracking them down and trying to get them to pay attention to their investment, and that's not your job. I understand that you are invested with them, so they're kind of part of your team, but that's that's not good. You want to give them one shot, and that's the end. People will send that to me. Why didn't you remind me? I'm like, I'm not in the business of reminding anybody. I don't even remind my kids of things, because it's their job. They put it on their calendar and they show up or they miss. And after they miss something valuable 1 or 2 times, they never do it again. And that's the way I run my life and my business, because I don't want to enable anybody, right? We all just need to rise up. So anyway.
Right. Yeah. It's just, it's kind of different, because some of the things that they need to do, something that it needs to get done by the end of the year, but it's not like a critical thing. We still have like 6 weeks left. And in fact, they extended it. And if you are in the inside, when's the extended deadline. If you're not in the inside, then people they have this fear. So I have other people from organizations, other investors are trying to contact me. It's like, okay, well, this is going to be it's like, I hate to say no, because I know what I'm doing. And like, they don't worry about the KYCs are not ready until after January. They just put that there for a reason, but I'm getting everybody ready on my end for my reason, because once this new wallet hits, it's like, they're lucky if they have my time.
Okay.
Because I'm going to be going full force with this new thing. So
well,
that's
just make sure that when you call these people that you're dreading, just make sure that you speak with such authority, because it's just I get it, but
it's time consuming,
right? And you're there to protect them, and
right. And I can't get the time back, because we can make more money, but we can never get our time back. And that's what's dreading me. It's the time. But besides that, that's that. But I have to accept that, and I have to look at it in a positive way, and continue doing the steps, just take the actions, and and book my days with whoever's ready. And in my free time, I got to get my house ready for Christmas, and I have to just run a tight schedule if I need to, so I need to get my body ready. Like you said, I actually took those notes, and I'm actually was writing, because that's the best thing to do it. So I told myself I need to be ready for my new clients, the new people, and prepare my body, and so my body could be healthy and strong mentally, physically, and just stuff like that. And if I need to do a detox, I need to do a detox. I need to get the detox out,
Write down, I am the master of my time. That's ultimately what the magician is, or the miracle worker. They are the master of time. Time does not master them, but they master time. And so remind yourself of that. No, I am the master of my time. And I will collapse it, fold it. I will make things happen now. And that's just the way it's going to be.
There's a script that I ran into, talks about that.
I love that she calls like scripture script, because scripture is script.
Oh, wait.
Isn't that cool that that's really what it is? It's a script that we should be reading, and that changes our life.
I lost my earpiece. I didn't hear the last 2 sentences you said. Sorry.
I love the word scripture. Shortened is script.
Script.
And you always say the word script. And it reminds me that scripture from the Bible is a script for our lives. And if we use that as the script for our lives, then our life will produce, profit in every area. But if we use other things for our scripts, then we won't produce profit. Anyways, go ahead. Did you find it?
There's a word missing, because when I printed it out, it didn't print out the whole 2 words. But this is basically, maybe I could put it together. Okay, so it starts off with, I am so happy and grateful now that I am accomplishing far more in my life. And then there's a word missing, and it says time with only a fraction time with only a fraction of the efforts I have been giving.
Awesome.
So you've got it though.
That's
Okay.
right.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
I actually was writing that. That just came across.
When we start out, we're accomplishing this much with the 24 hours that we've been given. And as we grow from the inside, we get spiritually strong, we produce this much in the amount of time that we're given. And so that's what we're doing as we grow in this life, is we're learning how to collapse time. We're learning how to produce more with the 24 hours that we've been given. And so it's amazing. And that's when you look at the people that are doing amazing things in this world, you're like, well, they have the same 24 hours that I do. How did they do all that in 24 hours?
Right.
Well,
Yeah.
you keep taking action daily, and that's what happens.
Exactly. And then before I go to bed, I'm doing my to-do list for the next day, and then I pray over that to-do list. Yeah.
Because we don't want to be doing stuff that is out of our lane. And that's what prayer does. It gets us aligned with the will and the plans and purposes of God. Because the last thing we want to be doing is staying busy and producing nothing. So the prayer is very important. Awesome.
Right. And I know if I write my list, there's other things that are going to get in the way. And sometimes I do have to pay attention to that, and I accept that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Good.
Okay. That's it for me.
Michelle. Awesome.
All right. Thanks.
Okay, Karen.
I made it. Oh my gosh. I was going to sit outside, but the storm's coming. So I got caught in a little mini tornado out there, and I got dusted. And then I thought, okay, well, I'm going to go in the house, and Savannah is vacuuming the whole house, and my mom is using my bathroom. So I'm like, okay, I'm going to go get in my car. So I go in my car, and then you get getting cut out. I didn't have good service. So I'm like, oh my gosh. So I go back into the house. I'm like, is everybody done yet? So now I'm in my room praying that nobody comes in and interrupts me. And so I was very disgruntled when you asked me that question, because I was having a difficult time dealing with the whole situation.
Yes, you were feeling powerless, for sure.
Yes. Oh my gosh. So thank you for giving me that time. I appreciate that.
Of course.
Okay. So obviously one of my biggest issues is obviously privacy, finding a space for myself. So
that's what we call space.
Yes.
So do you know what pillar space is in? I'm going back to the map every minute because
that's good that you should do that.
Yeah, we have to get this stuff in us. There is a pillar that's responsible for space.
Well, the only thing I could think of is kick everybody out of the office, which I can't do that because Mike is in there and the customers are in there. And then I thought, well, maybe I could kick Mom out of my bathroom, but she's having issues today with the bathroom thing. And then I thought, well, maybe I can kick Savannah off of vacuuming. And she told me this is the only day that she has to do it. And Layla's home today. And so I was trying to figure out a way if I could kick anybody out, but it doesn't appear that I can do that today. So
I think that's interesting, the language that you're using.
Kick everybody out.
Yeah, let's look at that. That sounds pretty abusive to me. No, I'm just...
That's the state I'm in right now. I'm very distraughted. I'm like,
yeah, you're like, I don't care if I'm kicking you out. All of a sudden, nobody has a right to anything.
Exactly.
Okay. So
yeah, I can't do that.
Oh, I'm trying to. So, what would be another way of instead of kicking people out? What would be a more humane way of handling a situation like this? Another option that would keep you in your power.
Okay.
And would communicate your values.
Okay, so I thought that I was trying to stay in my power, trying to find another location. So my efforts to try to find another location, I felt like I was at least trying to find another location.
Instead of trying to find another location, let's go to your deepest desire. This is always a place where we start, okay? We always start in the lover-prostitute pillar with your desire or your value, okay? That's the pillar for values and desires. So in a situation like this, what's your deepest desire?
My ultimate desire would be to be in my office, uninterrupted with this session.
Okay.
That is my deepest desire.
Okay. So do you see, is that a reasonable desire, y'all? super duper reasonable. Not that
Well,
it
that
matters.
is, sorry, it is, I checked my head. It is reasonable. But since I travel, I'm able to do it off my computer anywhere. Because I've done meetings like this when I'm walking outside, you
Oh
know,
yeah, totally.
in different places. And
She can too. She went in her car. She went,
but,
you know,
yes. And so
we
I
all
totally
can.
get it.
We can pick up our computers and go anywhere, but that's not what we want to do. We're not
But I
gonna
take it back, Karen, because yes, I'm personal too. And when I'm doing this call, my space is very important and I don't want people around me. And I tell my husband, like today, he just got home late and I go, okay, I'm going to close the door. I can't be interrupted till 1:30. And then last night he used my computer because he didn't want to bug me upstairs in the hallway. So he brought his suitcase and his work in my office. And I told him, you want to get your stuff out just in case you come in? Because he knows this is my space, you know, so I respect what Karen said.
Okay, so when you get in a situation like this, you want to always go to your deepest desire and identify it. Okay, so your deep desire is to be in your room uninterrupted, right, Karen?
Yeah, privately, so no one else can hear me as well.
Okay, now in order for you to get or afford your desire, and also let's look at how your desire aligns with your values. You value growth, right? You see the correlation there? Your deep desire is not a lust of the flesh. It's literally aligned with your value system, right? You don't have any problem with that, right? Okay. So when your desire aligns with your values, then you have to make the decision from your lover to afford this desire or this value of yours, okay? So after you decide, like, it's okay, my desire is good and right, honorable, then you move over to the sovereign. So now we're going to go back to the beginning of the fear power map, the sovereign energy. That's the energy that stands up and says, all right, I own my business, my life, my happiness. And now I'm going to decree how it's going to be. I'm not going to be pissy about it or mean about it. I'm not going to be a bully about it. I'm just going to decree so that everybody knows how it's going to be. Okay? So once you've identified what your deep desire is and you know that it's aligned with your values or with God, then you can decree the thing, and then your warrior can step in and enforce the boundaries and make the space for the thing that you desire in your life. So that's the order of operations when it comes to anything, but this was a perfect example that if you don't identify your desire and tell yourself that you're worthy of having it, then you'll run around all over town and find that even though you're trying to let everybody have what they want, you're still not able to make it happen. And that's the weird thing. Like, it seems like you should have been able to just go outside and do the session outside. That should be easy. Well, then a dust storm comes. We should be able to go in your car, and then there's no reception. We should be, you know what I mean? All of a sudden, it's like nothing's working. And so that was really awesome. I love it when that happens, because then you can go back to the truth, like, oh, wait a minute. All I need is 90 minutes of uninterrupted time, and that's something that I am going to make happen in my life because it's just that important to me. So another way of doing this is having a team meeting, you know, if you've got people in your house or whatever, and just literally decree the thing, like from 12 o'clock to 1:30, I'm going to be in my room and it needs to be uninterrupted. And so whatever you guys need to do to make that happen, I appreciate it. Sometimes people will laugh at you. Sometimes they'll test you. Sometimes they'll whatever. But if we're unwilling to even make a decree, then we're never going to be able to overcome it, because there has to be some kind of action taken that feels uncomfortable, that feels awkward, that feels terrifying, that feels whatever. There has to be a crossover to the other side of us doing it different than we've ever done before. So go ahead and tell me about the laughter.
Laughter. I'm laughing because my mom has to use my bathroom because she's been pooping on the children's toilet seat and the children are getting their hands dirty.
That's
So how do I say, Mom, I'm sorry, you can't
No.
use my bathroom for the next 20
You
minutes.
don't.
You got to stay out.
No.
So I was laughing at that. So I was
Okay.
trying to figure out how can I do that. And then obviously Savannah vacuuming, she stops. So I'm back in here.
Huh.
And my office is right in the reception area of where we work. So I can't really tell all my customers they can't come in while I'm in this session. So I was laughing, trying to figure out, okay, where's my magician in this whole thing?
But
That's
it's
why I
really
was-
funny the way the mind works, because the mind is trying to confirm your old story so bad that it literally went to mom. Well, mom can't stay out of the bathroom. Well, of course mom can't stay out of the bathroom.
Right. So
Right?
it's like, so
No,
that's,
I'm not going to tell mom to stay out of the bathroom. And of course my customers need to get out of the shop. Like, no, of course not. Of course not. So, you know what I mean? This is
so the car, I was like, yeah, I thought of one, the car. It was all like, cool. And then,
but right now, where are you? You're not in the bathroom and you're not in the shop. You're in your bedroom.
yes.
Right. And that is perfectly good and right and reasonable. And so that's what I want you to.
But it's not my desire. It's not my desire, but it works
What's
for
your
now.
What's your desire? I mean, in this situation right now.
To be, have an office, obviously. That's an-
But, okay, I understand. That is part of the dream or the vision of the thing that you're
Yeah.
moving into.
yeah,
for
that's my
now,
desire.
The way that you get to the dream or the vision is to be able to get your power back in the situation that you're in right now. So no matter what the circumstances are, you're going to find your power no matter what. And you're going to be able to live in joy and power and strength and resourcefulness and everything, peace, in the midst of what's going on even now, right? And when you
Yeah.
get there, that's when the, more opens up to you.
Well, am I allowed some little transition time during that, though, to feel disgruntled for a moment till I get my bearings?
But yeah, but
Or-
you're going to notice that disgruntled time is going to shrink, because you're going to be able to recognize fear from the get-go. And when you're disgruntled, you're going to be able to say, oh, that's powerlessness. How do I get back in my power? And you're going to do it in 1 minute or less.
Yeah, I was
So-
frustrated. Yeah,
Yeah.
I was very frustrated.
And so frustration is just powerlessness. So,
Yeah.
all of this, the sooner, you can recognize the many voices of fear in your life, then the quicker you can alchemize and get back into your power. And you can laugh in the devil's face and say, oh, what you intended for evil, God is using for good. And now that fear, that thing that I was afraid of, is literally become, it has become power in my life. Now I know how to get what I want, no matter what the circumstances are. So that's where you're going, just to let you know. Okay.
Yeah. Well, I found a place, so I'm very excited about that. It just took me a while.
Yeah, totally. And I'm glad that you're here right now. Perfect. What was going on yesterday again that you had to move the meeting? I totally forgot.
Oh, I had to get Mom some new doctors.
Okay.
And so they wanted pulmonologist ASAP and cardiologist ASAP.
Okay.
And that was the ASAP appointment that I had to take her to.
Got it.
And she's got 3 this week and 2 next week and another one the week after. So it's, yeah.
All right. Okay. So number 30, we're still in the living up. This is our last, is this our last? Yes, this is our last November. Next week we're off, and then we go into December. So this 10th month is about living up. And when I say living up, we're talking about moving from shadow or survival or fear up into light, power, truth, the mind of Christ. So when you see living up, that's what I'm talking about, ascending, or what's the word starts with an E? Elevate. Elevate, ascend, moving higher. The only path to up leveling your life and business from this level of grace and glory that you're at to the next level of grace and glory. And that's why we say up level, because it says that in the Bible that we're supposed to move from this level of grace and glory to the next level of grace and glory. Each time we up level, we're moving into a higher frequency, a higher vibration, where there's more of the God life. Okay, and we've talked about this before. Abundant life is like way up here. It's like a frequency. That's all it is. And when we get into the frequency of abundant life, we feel more of God in our life. We feel more love, joy, peace, patience, kindness, goodness, faithfulness, gentleness, and self-control. And when we're down in the lower vibrations, we're living out of fear-based thinking or survival. And that's the natural mind. It's not the spiritual mind, it's the natural mind. So living up just means we're moving from a natural mind into a spiritual mind. And so all I put on this lesson for this week is to do an audit again and to get used to auditing every single day. Like this becomes a literal lifestyle. Light discovers its purpose in the dark. And that's where fear hides out. So if you're never willing to do the deep, dark work of introspection, which means getting really, really honest about the icky stuff in your life and confronting yourself, if you're not willing to do that, then you're never, ever going to live in this powerful place of abundant life and freedom. So the auditing is going on continually in my life. I never stop asking these questions. So I just wanted to put them out there again this week so that you would have them all nice and concise. Where is the prostitute running your life and business? Now remember, the prostitute is the energy of value and desires. And that's what we were just talking about with Karen. That's the first place where we start to lower our standard. And so where is the prostitute making you discount prices, lower your values, question your own opinions, doubt your own worth or knowledge or credibility? All of that is prostitute energy. So again, you want to keep that fear power map close by and look at what it says about the prostitute. She compromises the truth. She compromises her value and her values. She compromises her desires. In fact, she doesn't often even know what her desires are. When somebody is really racked with prostitute energy, you'll say, what do you want? What do you really, really want? And they won't even have an answer. Go ahead, Steph.
Very interesting right now. This is so funny because I'm working on a vision board.
Yeah.
New one.
Awesome.
And so I have all these things, words and kind of like the stuff that like I feel like, and then of course I have money up there. And now I've got all these open spaces, and I sat there for a second. I went, what do I want? I found myself asking myself that question today. And it's so funny because I wandered into a Tesla car dealership yesterday.
Awesome. I love this.
I'm like, I kind of want a Tesla. My son's like, you've got this truck to pay off. What are you thinking? I'm like, I'll put it on my vision board. You just watch.
Well, okay, why? That is crazy to go from a truck to a Tesla. Look at that. Wow. As you shift, I mean, you're shifting perspectives and paradigms and energy. All of this change literally changes our desires. So that's quite a change. That's quite a shift.
My thought is go get a beat up pickup truck. I hardly ever tow my trailer. So all I needed is to tow the trailer. But why am I wasting? And it really dawned on me because I went to SeaWorld on Sunday.
Oh, wow.
Back to Rady Children's Hospital yesterday. It's $60 in gas round trip in my truck.
Yeah.
So I spent $120 in the last 2 days in gas.
Yeah.
There's where my money is going. So I was really seriously considering, like, I need an economy car. Look at all this all the times I go to San Diego for Shannon's appointments, what am I doing to myself?
Yeah.
You know?
Good.
So that was like a real revelation yesterday. So I just wanted to put that out there that I had a really big, what do I want? And then I was
Yeah.
like, I walked right into the Tesla dealership. It was the craziest thing.
Awesome. Awesome. You know, the money thing, you know, we want money, and I've spent a lot of time this year really thinking about money and what is it about money? Like, what does money give us? And yes, freedom, but for me, it was time. So money and time, what if I had the time? Would I still want the money? What if I had the freedom? Would I still want the money? And this is what we have in the spirit. We have the power to be able to step into time and freedom apart from money. And so if you can learn how to stay in your power and live in this higher level of awareness according to the mind of Christ, you will find that you're in this very present moment where you literally master time. Like, time is yours. Like, time, I don't have a problem with time anymore. That's not even an issue. I never worry about time. I never find myself rushing places. I just, like, I'm the master of my time. And it used to be a huge issue in my life. So I feel the difference. Freedom, the ability to literally freely express yourself, to freely give, to be generous when you want to, that's freedom. Can I have that apart from money? And so play with that, because that's how we get money, is by first mastering our energy, mastering our time, taking hold of freedom by truth. It's the truth that sets you free. It's not the money that sets you free. So taking hold of all of these things in the spirit is what opens us up and makes us a total magnet for money and for opportunities and for resources and relationships. It's crazy. So this is the way it works in the kingdom. So when you say, I want money, remember to go beyond that. What is money going to give me? And see if you can take hold of that stuff even before the money comes. I have to tell you a story. Marco is like wanting to go into music production, and it's been kind of confusing about college because there's not a lot of colleges that offer a really great music production major. And so I was kind of thinking, whatever, let's just get him hooked up with the right people and get some mentorship and coaching going. And I just wasn't valuing college. Well, last year, all of a sudden USC popped into my mind, and I was like, USC has a music production, a great Thornton School of Music, and they actually added music production and technology to their curriculum last year. And I was like, USC, he needs to go to USC. Oh my gosh. Well, it wouldn't go away. And so I went ahead and signed him up to a Discover USC day, and it was this last Saturday, and Hugo had surgery on Wednesday and couldn't even barely get out of bed. And I'm like, I can't leave my husband to take my son, but I got to take my son. Like, this is not up for negotiation. I got to get him there. Something was so huge in me about this school. Well, I called Hugo's brother. He came over and stayed with Hugo, and I went with Marco. Marco didn't want to go. I didn't want to go, but we were like, we got to go. I told Marco, we got to go. Well, we went, and it was like a life-changing day. It was absolutely so huge. We look at the prices at $77,000, you know, to go there. And Mark was like, Mom, and I'm like, no, this is not a decision that we make based on money. In fact, I don't make any decisions based on money anymore, because I bypassed that, because God gave me faith as the currency. So if I could just have the audacity to believe that there was a way to get my son into this college without paying $77,000, then that's all I need, is just to get rid of the money excuse and just be open to the possibility. I don't know what's going to happen. I have no idea. But we went and met with these people, got to hear all about the school. They loved Marco. They kept calling Marco out in the audience. Hey, you in the hat, like, what's going on with you? What? I mean, they just, like, there was such a affinity. The energy was exactly perfectly matched. Marco's life was changed. I was like so fired up. So we came home, and he has to have his application in by December 1st. And they laid it all out. This is what you got to do. These are the videos. These are the things that you have to submit. And we're not about numbers. We don't look at GPA and SAT scores. We're looking at your School of Music application. And if you're a fit for our School of Music, then we will talk with admissions and we'll make sure that you get in. So, I mean, everything in me feels like it's going to happen. But if I were to go by the rules, there's no way he would be able to get in. And so this is an example of not letting, we don't have to play by the operating system of the world. We have a whole nother operating system that we get to use in our life here on earth. And so it starts by believing that you're worthy of the amazing thing, getting honest about your desire, stepping up and decreeing and declaring a thing, and having no idea how it's going to happen. So now Marco's just really protecting his energy. He's just staying in that place of focus and determination, and that's his job right now. I said, now it's a time to just enforce this, keep your boundaries up. Don't let yourself get distracted or derailed. You're going for it, SC or bust. We're going one college or none, So it's an exciting little place that we're in right now. But
I like how you explain that, because one thing that I learned from my business partners, when we negotiate something, I learned a couple of years ago, I said something, I go, well, yeah, but we're negotiating on this price. And we said this, and goes, Michelle, everything's still up for negotiation.
Yeah.
Including when you sign a deed. You can still negotiate. There's always some kind of a backdoor, and it's so true.
Yep.
Everything is still up for negotiation. Everything.
And everything is energy, and everything is gender. I mean, when you start really getting into all this this is all spiritual truth. And the spirit has authority over everything on earth. And so when you know the mysteries of the spirit world, stuff like that, there's a back door. There's always, there's a way. If there's a will, then there's a way. And the reason why we say if there's a will, then there's a way is because the human will that God gave us has authority on the earth. God doesn't. He won't violate our will. So when your will is set, nothing can stop you. And so it's crazy. It's crazy powerful. Okay, so we're not letting the prostitute have her way. You get to have your values and your desires afforded. You are worth that. And if God calls us worthy, that's why we call ourselves worthy. You were worth dying for. So we got to go for it. Where is the child running your life or your business? And when you think of the child, you want to think of that part of you that might get caught up in fairness. It's just not fair. Or how come they're not doing what they said? Or isn't he supposed to make my dream come true? Whenever you're wanting somebody else to make things happen for you, or you're expecting somebody else to make you happy even, that's child energy, okay? It's the opposite of the CEO. And if you're going to own your life and happiness, you have to be in CEO energy, the chief executive officer, executing, that's action, taking action every day. CEO energy is the one that is the queen instead of the princess, right? That sovereign energy that has no problem declaring and decreeing a thing, knowing that it's going to be established. And how do we know that it's going to be established? Because we know that we also are the warrior that has the power to enforce boundaries, that has the strength to lift up the standard, that has the desire to rally for support. We go after what we want and nothing stops us. That's a warrior. So your sovereign can be powerful when you know that your warrior is willing to stand and fight for what she wants. The victim, where is the victim running your life? The victim is the one that's blaming other people, or blaming a circumstance, or blaming a situation, or blaming the results they're getting in life on something else. It could be the government. It could be, you know, your husband, your kids, the small house that you live in, the illness. It could be like, I have this disease in my body and that's why, you know. So a victim is being bullied all the time by some kind of situation in their life. Do you guys ever bully yourself? Yeah.
I blame myself. I can't blame anybody else but myself. And when I see something, someone's doing something dumb, I'm like, wait, I can't criticize that person because I'm bringing that injury to me. Shame on me, you know. And I have a lot of belief in people when they're not fulfilling, you know, because I got to believe in them. And so, yes, I got to believe in them.
Our only option is to blame ourselves for everything.
And that's what I put myself. When you said victim, that's what I put down.
Yeah. And so this is the way it works in the lives of.
Can you hear me, Stephanie? Oh, Stacy
Where'd you go, Stace?
froze.
You're frozen. That is so crazy. I wonder if her battery died because she's downstairs. She's not upstairs on the regular computer.
Oh, she's on her laptop?
I think so. She's downstairs. Look. Behind her.
Okay, she got on her. Okay, I wasn't sure if her laptop was plugged or whatever. Okay, so she's probably running upstairs now. She could be. Okay, so it's just, okay, Melanie Griffin is the host now. Oh, Melanie Griffin's the host. Melanie, can you hear us? Calling Mel.
I can.
See, she can hear us. Yay!
I can hear you.
I know you're there. I could hear little bits and pieces, but you're breaking up too.
Yes, I don't have good internet.
Yeah, it's hard to hear her. I almost like wonder if you could go into like the chapel of the hospital, because can't you get on the hospital's internet?
Yeah, I'm on it. But it's taking me one bar on both my iPad and my phone.
Oh, you're on your phone.
No, I'm on my iPad.
iPad.
It's only
And now she's gone.
Oh, Homemake is the host now. You, the host now. She's gone now. Yeah.
It's my home Mac. It's my home Mac. I know. I need to change that. I don't even know how to go into my computer and change it and put my name in there.
Melanie's still here.
Now she keeps going in and out.
I only go out when I start talking because it uses more power or something. So if I'm talking, it goes and I come in. I don't know what it is.
I didn't quite
And
make
my Steph's frozen.
Yeah.
I can see Steph, but she's frozen.
Oh, I know you're there, Mel. I hear little bits and words that you're saying. It's hard to put it together.
kind of an echoey thing.
Yeah. So I'm glad she's here at least. I also learn when I hear you guys, when you guys are talking like, oh, well, like I learned so much from whoever's sharing their testimony from their week.
Me too. I learned a lot too.
Yeah, because we all handle it in a different spiritual way. So I learned so much. Okay, so Stephanie, since it's 2 and 9 now, you know how you said you wanted a Tesla?
Yeah.
Okay, so when I do my visual board, I put stuff on it and then I always take it off. Well, like last week I was saying, like, and I've been wanting a Maserati, like, oh, those things are so nice. They're a sports car and they're also like a nice, elegant car, you know?
Yeah, it's the dream car.
Okay, so I learned a couple days ago from a young college kid because his friend, he's a little entrepreneur. He's from San Diego State, one of my friends, my daughter's friend, you know, and I was visiting my daughter and she had her friends around her and some of the college friends. And we saw this, it's a Maserati, it's a brand new Maserati parked in front of Perch with this nice, really elegant restaurant that we went to. And of course, they always park the nice cars in the front. And I always touch the emblem on the Maserati. And then he's looking at the Maserati and he goes, you know, these cars depreciate so much. And I'm like, oh, she's back. Here she
We'll
is.
pick up later.
We'll pick up later. I was going to tell you about the Tesla.
Okay.
I mean, but you might not want a Tesla after you hear this.
Well, let's finish with Stace and then we can talk.
Yes. She's back. Yes.
You're muted, Stace. You're muted.
Still muted. Yeah. We still can't hear you. Unmute your mic.
You're muted. It shows you're muted.
Okay, there
There
we
you
go.
go. All right, let me mute myself.
Hi. What happened?
Well, that was a crazy thing. And my computer's still dead. I don't know what happened. I didn't think that it was a battery issue at all. It was fine. So I don't know why that happened, but
What a good guess that was. I said it. That's exactly what I said. I said her computer just died. She's downstairs.
Yeah, because she called it right.
but I plugged it back in a while ago, and it still is dead. It's like I don't know, and it was
Is
at
it
like,
Apple?
yeah, it's a MacBook
Mac?
Pro. It's like a good computer.
Yeah, my phones, they've been doing that. They say they have like 3 bars where they only have no bar, and then when you plug it in, all of a sudden it has all this juice. The computers are doing the same thing too, I've noticed.
Crazy. Okay, so we were almost done, so we'll just finish up really quick here. I don't have my notes either, but where were we? We talked about the child.
They're in the middle of victim.
Um,
Being bullied by something or someone.
Oh, yes. So the self-bullying. So that is a common one for people that are not, like it doesn't seem like you're a victim, but if you're beating up on yourself, that's still victim energy. So I know I have to watch out for that one. Okay, and then the next one is saboteur. Where is the saboteur ruling or running your life or your business? So this one would be procrastination. Asking too many questions. Not too many, but asking a million questions. Insisting on knowing why and how and what. You want to know all the little details of everything. So it's a really like far from trust kind of place. Also, you don't think you're credible. You don't think you're qualified. You don't think you're ready. So you're always waiting for money, waiting for the right situation, waiting for somebody else. Like there's always something that you're waiting for. And that pillar has to do with time. And so all of the time issues, it's not the right time. That's saboteur energy, okay? So we have to understand that if we were drawn to a certain opportunity, or we were drawn to a certain coach or program or teaching or whatever, and then all of a sudden we're like, nope, that's saboteur. Because God, we prayed and we asked for support, or we asked for direction. God led us to this person or this place or this thing. And then all of a sudden we're like afraid to commit, or we're afraid to invest, or what, that's the saboteur. So we ask God for something, he brings it, and then we're like, oh no. Okay. Waiting for all your ducks to be in a row, and they never will be. So, okay. Is there any more? Was that the last one?
That was the last one, and then you go into
Homework.
the action work, which was what action will you take as a lover, a sovereign, a warrior, magician?
Okay. And so this is the big thing, because if we never take the actual terrifying action, and I call it terrifying because it's super scary to do something you haven't done before. And that's the only way that you're going to cross over to the other side in order to embody, like truly embody a new truth in your life. So I can know all this stuff in my head, but if I don't take the risk of expressing myself honestly, that could be very risky. If you're always monitoring your expression, then when you finally decide to express yourself honestly and, risk rejection, that could be really scary. But that's the action that you need to take in order to get yourself into lover energy, right? So the prostitute is going to be compromising their truth. They're going to be monitoring their expression. They're going to be not even knowing what they desire or want. So your action is going to be getting honest about your desires, getting clear about your values, and then actually affording them in your life. Affording the time, affording the money, affording the energy, affording the risk of rejection. Okay, so you guys, you're going to come up with the action that you need to take in order to be in your lover. And then the action for the sovereign, that action is going to be the CEO energy of really owning your life and your happiness. So what action are you going to take, or what decree are you going to make in order to own your life and your happiness? And then the warrior action is going to be, actual boundaries that you're going to enforce. And you might have some boundaries, but you notice that you're just not enforcing them. You keep letting the wrong people into your life. You keep listening to the wrong voices. You keep going into the wrong spaces in Facebook even. This could be social media. Maybe you're tempted to go listen to people that you really shouldn't be listening to, or you're stalking people that you don't have time for that. You know what I mean? Just be aware of how you're letting your boundaries go. It's like sloppiness. Okay, so the warrior is going to rise up and stand and fight for what she really values. Okay. And then the magician, the miracle worker, this is the one that is going to just be in total faith about something. Okay, so you're going to be confessing the truth over your situation. You're going to be working on the action that's going to back up your faith. Faith is has to have corresponding action to it. So if I say that I'm in faith for something, there needs to be an action that corresponds to that. So that's what the magician does. The magician takes corresponding action to what they're believing for. Okay. And when you take that action, you're collapsing time. You're making things happen boom. If you have a vision that is in the spirit world, you're going to take action on that vision, which is the first step in bringing it to planet Earth. That's manifestation, is bringing it down here. Okay. I think that's it. Do you guys have any questions?
I don't think so.
Well, I said the decision. So, on the warrior, I put down, this, I don't know, I think it relates to a warrior. Continue to provide support and surround myself with great people.
Yeah, that is warrior.
Okay. And then the musician, I put down, okay, it's already here. It already happened.
Good.
And to live it.
Yeah.
If I want this amazing office, I am going to say, oh my God, I built this beautiful leather chair, this beautiful desk, I have this amazing view outside. I'm living it. And every time I get in my car, I always picture a picture of a Maserati, but now I have second thoughts on that now. So now I have to take that off because there's a reason for it. I just got done learning. So I'm always living the dream, and I always have to believe, every time I look at people, I learn now that's just where they're at. And I learned that from you. That person is going to be an amazing, they have so much energy. They're going to be somebody so big. And I see all these young people, it's they all have this potential. My God, this person, when 10 years from now, he's going to be so much, this amazing person. So, and then also, okay, so on the musician, I don't want to sidetrack. I also put down, make a list the night before, because I want to continue doing that. Sometimes I don't. And then manifest on my list to give me the power and the energy to do it the next day.
Yes, good. Because there has to be a time when you take physical action.
Oh, wait,
on
let
the
me ignore
vision.
this.
So you're dreaming it and you're envisioning it and you're speaking it and confessing it, and then you're feeling it in your body. But then there's going to be a moment when you're going to feel like, oh gosh, I have to actually do something, and it feels scary to do it. But that's the action that's literally going to take you to the next level. So be sensitive to the
Right.
action that you feel.
Yeah, because that right there is gonna go up to the saboteur. Like, I am progressing on some of the stuff in my space. I have to arise, and I'm the biggest when it comes to me and my personal space, like my health. Like today I went running, and the first mile I just felt so fatigued and so tired. And then all of a sudden it's like, okay, I could run. I start like saying all these positive things, and I actually ran my 4 miles, but I am not making the appointment for my health. There's something lacking in my body. I don't know what it is. And
Okay. So body issues goes back to the victim warrior energy. So where are you in victim is what you would want to look at. If you have no energy in your body, if your body is like, then it's about victim. So look for the areas where you feel powerless, and then take the action to get back into your power, and you'll feel the energy in your body come back.
yes,
Okay.
the appointment. It's like when people want to get healthy, they're out there putting it out. They're seeing experts and they're doing some things, and finally something positive comes of it.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then also like saboteur, it's like my office, the clutterness.
Okay.
I'm so picky about having
action would
everything.
you take?
I just need to do it. Do it. Don't make an excuse.
Yeah.
And don't let other little things interrupt me.
Yeah.
I
And
need
even
to
if it's one little tiny step of action, like set a timer for 10 minutes so that, you don't think that it's a huge mountain. Just clear the clutter for 10 minutes only. And that's going to get your energy back into that magician place.
Yeah. Okay. I know. My friends usually tell me I have it bad, or I have my OCD, and I'm like, no, I just like to be organized.
Yeah. I love that you never accept any of that. You're really good at just like, what? Like it doesn't even touch you. It's so good.
I don't claim it.
That's right.
I don't claim it. I learn not to claim it. It's like when people say, I can't afford that. Don't say that. Like I told my husband, I goes, don't say that, because that's not true.
It's
Don't you claim it.
And when somebody says, I can't afford, that's prostitute energy. It's not about money. You're unwilling to afford what you desire and value in your life. And that's ugly. That's a very low self-worth. So when somebody says, I can't afford, you're like, no.
That's
no.
poverty. I hear it in so many different terms, but yeah, that's one of them too.
Yeah.
And he said that earlier today, and I'm like, that's not true. That's not even true. Look what you have. And you tell me they're going to, there's people out there that wish you're friends because, okay, so when I go to Pilates, I shouldn't do this, but I do.
I don't have a clock right now, so let me know if you guys need to hop off.
It's 1:31 right now, exactly.
Okay.
And
Okay,
so there's there's Maserati, there's a BMW, there's a Tesla. It really, honestly, it's not a big deal because I know what my money stands for,
Yeah.
And one of my friends at Pilates just got an awesome Maserati, and it's blue, and she lives here in the lake, right? And I took a picture of it, and then I showed it to my husband, and then my husband backfires and sends me how much money he has in his stocks, and I go, yeah, but they don't have this.
Yeah.
And I go, you don't know that. You're not living in their life,
That's awesome. I love it. But they don't have this.
Yeah.
Okay, guys, do the work. I love it.
Okay.
So important. Have a happy Thanksgiving. I won't see you next week, so happy Thanksgiving. I'm so grateful.
Happy birthday too.
And
today's your birthday, Stacy?
No, it's it's the day before Thanksgiving is my birthday. So Hugo's going to take me away and we're going to have a great week. Yeah.
Nice. Oh, have a fabulous birthday. You deserve it. Okay, so are we still working out?
We're only going to work out on Monday only.
This Monday.
Next month. Yeah, for Thanksgiving week, only Monday.
Okay, let me write this down. Only Monday. Okay, no problem. No, hey, you know what? You need that time for your family. You need
Yeah.
to go out there and you need to, you know, regroup and
Okay, I
Okay.
love you guys.
bye, Stephanie. Talk to you guys
Bye,
later.
guys.
All right, bye-bye. Bye, Melanie.
Bye, Mel. Have a good